Hey there, grab your warm drink and let's get ready. Today I want to talk about something real with you. I have never fully admitted that to myself until recently, actually. And it's about how we unknowingly give our power away and how easy it is to do that without even realizing it's going on. And also about the delicate dance between masculine and feminine in romantic relationships. But before I start sipping my tea with you, I want to talk about my new online course and let you know that it's launching in early February, on the 4th to be exact. It's for women and non-binaries who want to reconnect with their inner wisdom and align with their natural cycles, as the course is called Cycle Aligned. And it's about not waiting for anything that you deserve. It's for going for it and taking matters into your own hands, just as this video today. Something that is really special about this course is the fact that I recorded it and even created it alongside my actual menstrual cycle, 28 days. And I harnessed the power of every phase. And it's really designed to guide you through every day of your cycle by recommending what actions and tasks are really bringing out the best in you, and how to harness that energy of the specific day of your cycle to achieve exactly what you want and more. I'd be honored if you would join me on this journey. So there's more information below. All right, and then back to today's topic. So this is inspired by a conversation I had with a friend over dinner recently. We were discussing that women, both of us, but also women in general, tend to give their power away by trusting in a partner or a man that is not fully in his own alignment and on his path. And it might happen when we're struggling in our own careers, which was the case for her and I. And it might happen when we're exhausted and we're just tired of doing it all alone, feeling like we have to hold it all together ourselves without help. And then we tend to be attracted by men who outwardly provide and seem to have the stability and the safety that we are yearning for. Our feminine heart yearns for so much, as my teacher David Deida is saying. I'm going to throw in a few quotes here and there from my favorite book. It's called Dear Lover. I recommend this book so much, with all my heart. I recommend this book. It's a beautiful collection of feminine yearning and longing and what we deeply, deeply actually want. And so it was an eye-opening read for me, and I haven't read it just once ever since I discovered it. I was roaming around used bookstores in Paris, and there was this cute Canadian bookstore in that neighborhood that my friend recommended for some good croissant and cheese. And it basically fell into my hands, out of the bookshelf into my hands, because everything was so cramped up on the shelves. And I had interest in another book actually, but Dear Lover just fell out and I caught it, and it was the book that I took home with me that day, and a true gift. So what happens with these men who seem to be very secure and stable, we notice somewhere along the way that things shift. And instead of using their support as a foundation to build your own dreams, women start waiting for him to create the life that they secretly desire. When he buys this item or the house, or when he settles or takes her on that vacation, or a certain investment is taken, then she will be open and loving and free. And that's simply not how it works. David actually says something very beautiful in the book I just mentioned. He goes, if you don't offer your deepest gifts now, your heart will begin to close and you will begin to wither. and you will wait and wait and wither and keep waiting. And that sounded very familiar. All the indecisions, the doubts he had, lack of trust in himself. So of course I couldn't fully trust him. And eventually my patience was gone, and I was really resentful, not just with him, but with myself, because truth is, I wasn't really trusting him, and I was avoiding my own fear that I couldn't create the life I wanted on my own, the things I wanted to get for myself. So I expected him to step up and do this. And it became very entangled. There was a real connection, and I didn't want to leave, but it felt impossible to stay as well, because the heart openness that is my natural state, the feminine heart that just wants to give and love and be pure and soft, all of that was hardened, and I didn't allow myself to act. I was afraid. I thought he was more capable and skilled, so I relied on him. And David Deida also says that a woman must be able to surrender her life to her man's direction only if he has proven himself trustable to his own deepest truth. And the reality in my situation was that I couldn't surrender to someone who, just like me, was figuring things out. He was doing his best, but wasn't ready to hold all of me, because I wasn't even holding myself. So that was a true wake-up call. And feminine energy, I have to say here, isn't about passively waiting. It's about being receptive and trusting. Also about owning your desires, of course, and expressing them unapologetically. But I had to stop waiting for him to take action on my dreams and start taking them into my own hands. And so I did. And I started investing in myself and focusing on my own goals. I left, and then things shifted towards empowerment, because there was a certain weight of expectation attached to this relationship and him at the end to provide for my dreams. And when I took that weight off, I was able to fly again. And I showed up differently. The dynamic changed in other relationships, romantic and not romantic. And it didn't mean shrinking myself anymore. I didn't need to be rescued. I wasn't so dependent. There wasn't a codependency anymore in the masculine-feminine relationships in my life. And truth is also that the masculine loves to provide the structure and hold the space. But the feminine must then honor the flow, her desires. And that is where so many of us get stuck, thinking we have to wait for permission, approval, or the perfect conditions. And this whole journey, and also what my friend shared from her experience, brought this huge lesson that waiting for anyone to create the life we want is never the right approach. And if you are feeling stuck, if you've been waiting for the right moment or the perfect partner, I want you to ask yourself, what are you truly waiting for? And more importantly, what are you ready to claim for yourself? Because here's the thing. Your power has never been outside of you. It's been within you all along. And I want you to, or I invite you to remember that strength and that power that you have and that confidence that lives within you. It might be buried right now. It might be somewhere in the background, almost forgotten that this sheer force in you exists, but it is with you. It is there. And in relationships or even dating situations where we rely on someone to fix something or to fill a void that is there and has been there for a long time, we put so many assumptions and expectations out onto this person and out into the world as well. And at some point, it comes crashing down like a house of cards. And you've been pulling the bottom card, of course. It couldn't be any other way. But it goes unnoticed because the hopes and dreams and the unspoken desires and the vision we have, we allow this to become a block in our unique path to fulfillment and real joy and real peace deep inside. And of course, also to our hearts being soft and open and ready to being penetrated by the masculine force, by his strength and his structure and his clear lead to move forward, to know the direction you're moving towards as a unit, as a relationship unit. And if the heart tends to harden and close, it will become inevitable over time that the relationship suffers. And there are underlying arguments or little fights that break out, or he senses you, because the masculine always senses what are the moods of the feminine, and he senses that you are pulling back, or you're going into the opposite depending on your attachment style. You are really jumping on top of everything, holding on tight, and you come across as very needy. Either the avoidance side becomes very strong and dominant, or the neediness shows. And in situations like that, focusing on the heart space and becoming so clear about where you are right now and how you got stuck, how you even got there in the first place. All of this is helpful. And I recommend, if doing this on your own seems impossible or is very, very difficult, ask a friend that you trust and that you know can assist you in a way to find your next steps, to become clear what to do to break out of this cycle. And some therapy, some coaching, some somatic work where you really go into your sensations and all the feelings and where things might have been piling up inside of your body. All of that can be very helpful. You know your modalities best, so I recommend you definitely ask for the support that you deserve so much. And I'm looking forward to welcoming you to that new course. I know that this wisdom of harnessing the power of your cycle is going to be very, very life-changing and super useful. So much love to you. I'll see you next week.